The grenade's whistle cut through the Afghan dusk like a siren's wail, and Alex Harper knew in that split second it wasn't the explosion that would haunt him forever. It was the way Jordan's face, framed by the Humvee's shattered window, eyes wide with unspoken terror, burned into his soul before the world turned to fire and dust. As shrapnel tore through his leg and the screams of his squad drowned in the blast, Alex realized the real war had just begun, not on the battlefield, but in the forbidden ache blooming in his chest for the man he'd sworn to protect. Alex woke to the sterile beep of monitors in a VA hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, the kind of place where heroes went to trade glory for ghosts. His leg throbbed under fresh bandages, a jagged reminder of the IED that had ended his tour 6 months early. At 28, with a Purple Heart pinned to his discharge papers, he felt less like a soldier and more like driftwood washed up on the shores of civilian life. The doctors called it PTSD. Alex called it the price of survival. But nothing prepared him for the visitor who slipped into his room that first hazy afternoon, carrying a styrofoam cup of coffee that smelled like regret. Jordan Ellis. The name hit Alex like an aftershock. They'd met in basic training at Fort Benning, two green recruits from opposite coasts, Alex from the steel mills of Pittsburgh, Jordan from the foggy vineyards of Napa Valley. Jordan, with his easy laugh and sketches in the margins of field manuals, had been the squad's unofficial artist, capturing sunsets over the Hindu Kush in quick charcoal strokes. But it was more than that. Late-night watches in the barracks, shared cigarettes under starless skies, a brush of hands that lingered too long. Alex had buried it deep, convinced love like that was a luxury soldiers couldn't afford. Now, here was Jordan, older by the same scars, his dark hair cropped military short, hazel eyes shadowed by something heavier than fatigue. "You look like hell, Harper," Jordan said, his voice a low rumble that tugged at memories Alex had tried to grenade-proof. He set the coffee on the side table, avoiding Alex's gaze as if it might detonate. "Heard about the blast from Ramirez. Flew in from California the second I could." Alex shifted against the pillows, wincing as pain lanced up his thigh. "Ellis, didn't peg you for the bedside vigil type. Last I checked, you were allergic to hospitals. Remember that sprained ankle in Kandahar?" Jordan's lips quirked, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. He pulled up a chair, elbows on knees, fingers steepled like he was briefing a general. "Yeah, well, things change. People change." The words hung there, loaded. Alex felt the pull, that old gravity, but he shoved it down. They weren't kids trading secrets anymore. Jordan was out now, or so the rumors went, proudly so, marching in San Francisco pride with a sign that read, "Love wins, even in the trenches." Alex? He was still in the closet, door bolted from the inside, terrified of what his conservative family back home would say if they knew their war hero son loved men. They talked for hours, skirting the edges of what had happened overseas. Jordan sketched idly on a napkin, a rough outline of the hospital window's view, the Potomac River glinting like a promise. Alex watched his hands, steady despite the tremor he knew hid in them from his own nights of flashbacks. When Jordan finally stood to leave, promising to return, their fingers brushed in a handshake that stretched into eternity. "Take care of yourself, Alex," Jordan murmured. "Not just the leg. The rest of you." That night, Alex dreamed of the blast again, but this time Jordan was pulling him from the wreckage, whispering words Alex couldn't hear over the roar of his own heartbeat. He woke sweating, the room spinning, and punched the call button until a nurse sedated him back to oblivion. The next morning brought discharge papers and a one-way ticket to Pittsburgh, where his mom waited with pot roast and prayers. Jordan's number burned in his phone, uncalled. Some battles, Alex thought, you lose before they start. Pittsburgh welcomed him with gray skies and the acrid tang of steel smoke, the kind that clung to your lungs like unfinished business. His childhood home in the South Side was a brick row house squeezed between a dive bar and a shuttered mill, the American dream deferred but defiant. Mom fussed over him, piling his plate with pierogies while Dad grunted approvals from his lazy boy, the TV droning Fox News rants about real patriots. They knew about the injury, the medals, but not the man who'd haunted his recovery. Alex played the part, stoic son, unbreakable vet, joining VFW meetings where old-timers swapped war stories over watered-down beer. But the nightmares clawed deeper. Sirens became incoming fire. Fireworks on the fourth cracked like rifle shots. He started running at dawn, pounding pavement along the Allegheny River until his bad leg screamed, chasing exhaustion to drown the what-ifs. What if he'd told Jordan how he felt that last night in Kabul, under the flickering lantern light? What if the blast had taken him instead, leaving Jordan to grieve alone? Salvation came in the form of a job at a local community center, teaching self-defense to at-risk kids. It was grunt work, mats that smelled of sweat and hope, punch mitts that echoed like therapy, but it grounded him. That's where he met Lena, a firecracker of a social worker with tattoos snaking up her arms and a laugh that cut through tension like a K-bar. She was the first to notice the shadows under his eyes, the way he'd flinch at loud voices. "You're carrying more than that limp, soldier," she said one evening, handing him a flyer for a LGBTQ+ support group. "This might help. No judgments, just folks figuring out how to live after the world's tried to break them." Alex stared at the paper, pulse hammering. He wasn't ready. Not with his family's Bible-thumping neighbors who crossed the street when the pride flag waved down the block. Not when his own reflection in the mirror whispered, "Coward." But he pocketed it, and that night, alone in his cramped apartment, he texted Jordan, landed in PGH. "Legs holding. You?" The reply came fast, "Holding too. Miss the stars out here. Call me." They talked until the line crackled with static, Jordan's voice wrapping around him like a field dressing. He learned Jordan had left the army, channeling his sketches into graphic novels about queer soldiers, raw, unflinching tales that had landed him a gig illustrating for a San Francisco publisher. But success came with barbs. Online trolls doxing him, death threats scrawled on his studio door. "It's like the war followed me home," Jordan admitted, voice cracking. "But I won't hide anymore." Alex envied that fire, even as it scared him. Their calls became ritual, late nights dissecting deployments, dreams deferred. Jordan sent care packages, dog-eared copies of Whitman, a sketch of Alex mid-laugh from a grainy photo. Alex reciprocated with mixtapes of Springsteen, anthems for blue-collar hearts. It was safe, this distance, until Jordan announced he was coming east for a book signing in Philadelphia. Train to Pittsburgh after. We could grab a beer. As friends. Friends. The word tasted like ash. But Alex said yes, because saying no felt like surrender. The reunion was at a dive called the Rusty Anchor, tucked in Pittsburgh's Strip District where the air hummed with market vendors hawking fresh pretzels and ethnic insults. Alex arrived early, nursing a yangling, his nerves jangling like loose dog tags. When Jordan walked in, jeans faded, leather jacket slung over a thermal that hugged his frame, time stuttered. He looked good, too good, the lines around his eyes speaking of battles Alex hadn't shared. They clinked bottles, toasting absent friends, but the air thickened with unsaid things. Jordan's knee brushed Alex's under the scarred oak table, and neither pulled away. "You ever think about us?" Jordan asked finally, voice low against the jukebox's wail of Johnny Cash. "Back then, I mean." Alex's throat tightened. "Every damn day." The admission hung, vulnerable as exposed wire. Jordan's hand covered his, thumb tracing a scar from a training mishap. In that touch, Alex saw futures. Lazy Sundays in a loft apartment, arguments over takeout, quiet nights where silence meant trust. But fear crashed in like artillery. His parents' disappointment, the town's whispers, the VFW vets who'd toast his service then spit on fairy tales. "I can't," Alex whispered, yanking back. "Not like this. Not here." Jordan's face shuddered, hurt flickering before steel took over. "Fair enough. Friends it is." He drained his beer, tossed cash on the bar, and left without a backward glance. Alex sat there until last call, the empty stool mocking him. He'd won wars overseas, but this was defeat. Weeks blurred into a numb routine. The community center gig turned sour when a kid's homophobic dad cornered Alex in the parking lot, slurring about teaching my boy to be a man, not some pansy. Alex decked him, one clean hook to the jaw, earning a suspension and a black eye that swelled like pride. Lena dragged him to the support group that night, a circle of folding chairs in a church basement reeking of coffee and candle wax. There, amid stories of rejection and resilience, Alex found echoes of his own silence. A trans veteran named Riley spoke of transitioning post-deployment, facing VA bureaucracy like enemy lines. A lesbian couple shared how they'd rebuilt after one partner's conversion therapy scars. When it was Alex's turn, words tumbled out. The blast, Jordan's eyes, the terror of feeling too much in a world that demanded armor. After, Riley clapped his shoulder. Courage isn't charging a hill, man. It's letting someone see the hill you're hiding behind. Emboldened, Alex drove to Philly for Jordan's signing, the Amtrak rattling like his resolve. The bookstore buzzed, fans clutching copies of Shadows and Camo. Jordan at a table signing with flourish, his smile practiced but weary. Alex hung back, heart in his throat, until Jordan spotted him. Surprise softened to warmth. You came. Couldn't stay away. They slipped out after, wandering Rittenhouse Square under sodium lamps, leaves crunching like spent casings. Jordan confessed the toll of visibility, a stalker who'd slashed his tires, forcing him to relocate temporarily to his sister's in Jersey. I thought going public would free me. Instead, it's like painting a target. Alex stopped, grabbing Jordan's arm. Then let me have your back. Like Kabul. Like always. The kiss happened then, tentative, then fierce, months of restraint igniting against a park bench. It was salvation and storm, Jordan's hands framing Alex's face like a sketch come alive. But as they broke apart, breathless, headlights swept the path. A cop car, routine patrol, but Alex froze, instinct screaming threat. Easy, Jordan murmured, but the damage was done. Alex pulled away, mumbling about trains. Back on the platform, guilt gnawed. He'd run again, leaving Jordan staring after him like a man watching a convoy disappear into dust. The fallout hit Pittsburgh like monsoon rain. Mom found the support group flyer in his jacket, her face crumpling as she pieced together those people with her son's haunted eyes. Dad exploded, Bible verses thundering about abomination, his Purple Heart son tainted by city sickness. They demanded he see the pastor, pray away the devil. Alex packed a duffel that night, crashing on Lena's couch, the city's bridges mocking his isolation. Jordan called at dawn, voice edged with worry. Talk to me, whatever it is. So Alex did, pouring out the family implosion, the cop lights glare, the endless loop of fear. Jordan listened, then said, come to Jersey. My sister's place has a spare room. We figure this out together. It was a lifeline. Alex arrived 2 days later, the turnpike a blur of billboards promising salvation in strip malls. Jordan's sister, Mia, was a whirlwind, queer mom of 2, running a daycare with rainbow flags in the windows. Her split level in Princeton exuded warmth. Crayon drawings on the fridge, a cat named Audrey after Lord. Jordan greeted him at the door with a hug that lingered, no questions, just presence. Life settled into fragile rhythm. Alex tempied at a security firm, his military precision an asset for night shifts patrolling warehouses. Jordan holed up in the basement studio, inking panels of his next graphic novel, a love story between 2 soldiers, veiled but visceral. Evenings, they cooked, Jordan's California fusion clashing with Alex's pierogi purism, laughter easing the knots. Touches multiplied, a hand on the small of the back, foreheads pressed in quiet moments. It was love, unspoken but electric, building like charge before a squall. But shadows loomed. Alex's parents cut contact, a silence louder than artillery. Then came the letters, anonymous, postmarked from Pittsburgh, scrawled with slurs and threats. Fags don't deserve medals. Mia called it paranoia. Jordan traced the paper, eyes hardening. This is what visibility costs. But we don't run. The first real fracture came at a local pride event in Trenton, a street fair with drag queens lip-syncing Gaga and booths hawking ally pins. Alex volunteered at the vet outreach table, handing flyers with Riley via Zoom. Jordan performed a reading from his book, voice steady as he evoked foxholes and first kisses stolen in moonlight. The crowd cheered, but as they walked hand in hand later, a pickup truck slowed, beer cans flying from the bed like grenades. One clipped Alex's temple, warm blood trickling as the truck peeled away, Confederate flags whipping in the wind. In the ER, stitches pulling tight, Alex shattered. This is my fault. I drag you into my mess, and now. Jordan silenced him with a kiss, fierce and unyielding. We're in this, Alex. All of it. Recovery brought clarity. Alex started therapy, unpacking the blast shrapnel, not just in his leg, but lodged in his heart. Sessions with a queer vet counselor peeled back layers. The homophobic drill sergeants who'd made "don't ask, don't tell" a joke, the loneliness of hookups in Baghdad alleys. Jordan joined once, sharing his own ghosts. The conversion camp his Baptist folks had forced at 16, electric shocks for curing hand-holding with his high school crush. Their bond deepened, intimacy woven in conversations over midnight tea, Jordan sketching Alex's scars into heroic vignettes. But tension simmered. Jordan's publisher pushed for a sequel outing the protagonists explicitly. Alex urged caution, haunted by the letters escalating to slash tires on Mia's minivan. "I won't lose you to this," he argued one night, voices rising in the kitchen. Jordan's eyes flashed. "Losing me means living half-lives. I did that for years, for the army, for safety. Not anymore." The fight lingered, unspoken truce fraying. Then came the call from Ramirez, their old squad mate. A reunion barbecue in D.C., vets only, no plus ones. Alex went alone, stealing for judgment. The backyard grill smoked with burgers and bravado, stories flowing like cheap whiskey. Ramirez pulled him aside, clapping his back. "Heard about you and Ellis. About time, man." We all knew. Stunned, Alex probed. Turns out, the squad had placed bets on when they'd figure it out, ribbing veiled in barracks humor. No hate, just acceptance buried under machismo. It cracked something in Alex, a wall tumbling, light flooding. He drove straight to Princeton, bursting into the studio where Jordan hunched over deadlines. "I'm done hiding," Alex declared, dropping to one knee. Not proposal, but promise, pulling a ring from his pocket, a simple steel band engraved with coordinates from their last patrol. "Marry me? After we win this war." Jordan laughed through tears, tackling him to the rug. "Yes. God, yes." But victory's eve brought ambush. The letters Cinder revealed. Alex's cousin, Tommy, a South Side cop nursing grudges from Alex's fancy discharge. Tommy cornered him at a family funeral. Uncle Ray's heart attack sudden as betrayal, whispering venom in the receiving line. Ruining the family name, queer boy. Dad's rolling in his grave. Alex confronted him later, rain slicking the cemetery paths. "It's not your call. Love isn't a crime." Tommy sneered, fist connecting with Alex's jaw before security hauled him off. Bruised but unbroken, Alex filed charges, the scandal ripping through Pittsburgh like wildfire. Mom called, voice trembling. "He's wrong, baby. Come home. We talk." The reconciliation was raw. Tears in the kitchen, Dad's gruff. "I served with men like you. Fought beside them. Should have said sooner." Forgiveness didn't erase scars, but it mended enough for holidays, tentative bridges over chasms. Jordan's book launch in New York was electric, sold-out crowd at a Soho loft. Critics praising the unflinching queer gaze on valor. Alex stood backstage, thumb rubbing the ring, pride swelling as Jordan dedicated it to the man who taught me battles are won in vulnerability. Yet the final twist lurked in shadows. Weeks later, a tip from Riley, Tommy's cop buddies circling, whispers of an accident for the traitor vet. Paranoia peaked when Alex's car wouldn't start, brake lines cut, deliberate. Jordan insisted on police protection. Alex refused, enlisting old squad contacts instead. The night it broke, they were at Mia's, kids asleep, when tires crunched gravel. Shadows moved. Tommy and two off-duty enforcers, bats in hand, faces twisted in beer-fueled rage. "End of the line, hero," Tommy snarled, shattering the porch light. Chaos erupted. Alex tackling one, Jordan wielding a garden hoe like a rifle, Mia dialing 911 from inside. Punches landed, blood slicked the drive, but the squad's timely arrival, Ramirez and two others, tipped by Alex's SOS, turned tide. Sirens wailed, cuffs clicked, just as swift as shrapnel. In the aftermath, hospital again, but this time side-by-side beds, hands linked. Tommy faced assault charges, his badge suspended, the family fracture cauterized by truth. Alex's parents arrived, Mom hugging Jordan fierce, Dad nodding gruff respect. "Your family now." Months healed into years. They married in a quiet ceremony on the Potomac, squad mates toasting with non-regulation tears. Alex opened a gym for queer vets, channeling pain to power. Jordan's novels flew off shelves, sequels bolder, collaborations with Alex's stories woven in. Battles faded. IED scars ached in winter, trolls still bayed online, but the war within quieted. Lying in their Brooklyn brownstone one dawn, Jordan's head on Alex's chest, the city hummed below. Still terrifying? Jordan murmured, fingers tracing the ring. Alex smiled, kissing his temple. Nah, you're my ceasefire. And in that peace, they built empires of touch and trust, unbreakable as the love that had survived the fire. The grenade's echo might have faded from Alex's ears, but its fragments lingered in every decision, every glance exchanged with Jordan in the quiet corners of their new life. What started as a truce in Princeton evolved into a deliberate dance, two men relearning each other amid the mundane miracles of domesticity. Mornings began with coffee brewed strong as boot camp sludge, Jordan sketching at the kitchen table while Alex stretched his leg, the prosthetic he'd opted for after complications a sleek ally rather than enemy. It clicked with each step, a metronome to their rhythm, reminding him mobility was rebellion. Jordan's world pulled them to San Francisco for a panel at a lit festival, the city a kaleidoscope of acceptance that both thrilled and terrified Alex. Haight Street pulsed with tie-dye ghosts and coffee shops where baristas knew your pronouns before your order. At the event, Jordan moderated a discussion on queer narratives in wartime lit, his voice commanding the room as authors dissected trauma's ink stains. Alex sat front row, anonymous in the crowd, but pride swelled when Jordan caught his eye mid-sentence, a nod that said this is us. After, over dim sum in Chinatown, Jordan leaned in. You were quiet. Thoughts? Alex poked at a hargao, shrimp translucent as vulnerability. Proud. But, what if they knew? The panel, the fans. I'm still the vet who hides. Jordan's fork paused. Hiding's a choice, Alex. One we don't have to make anymore. The words landed gentle but firm, a gauntlet tossed in love's name. That night, in their Tenderloin Airbnb, they talked until stars wheeled over the bay. Alex admitting the VFW invite he'd declined, fearing exposure. Jordan confessing a chapter he'd cut, too raw about their first kiss. Resolution came in whispers. Start small, share pieces, build the mosaic. Back east, Alex tested waters at the gym's open house, a converted warehouse in Newark where punching bags swung like pendulums of progress. He invited Riley to co-lead a workshop, Resilience Through Release, blending yoga flows with sparring drills. 20 souls showed, trans elders, by dads, non-binary newbies, sweat-mingling stories. When Alex shared his blast memory, not the gore but the grace of Jordan's imagined pull, the room exhaled collective. A young Marine, fresh from discharge, gripped his arm post-class. Sir, you make it real. Possible. Word spread, the gym's roster swelling, but so did scrutiny. A local paper ran a fluff piece, Vet's Haven for Hidden Heroes, complete with Alex's photo, arm around a client, Jordan's sketch of the space framed behind. It was meant as uplift, but online, it ignited. Forums lit with bile, disgrace to uniform, pray for his soul. Alex monitored from his phone, thumb hovering over block, until Jordan snatched it away. Don't feed them. Starve the hate. Easier said. The threats echoed Tommy's letters. Emails promising justice for real soldiers. Alex installed cameras, varied routes home, but sleep fractured. One night, flashback vivid, he bolted upright, gasping, Jordan rousing to hold him through the shakes. I'm here. Jordan soothed, palm flat on Alex's chest, grounding pulse to pulse. Dawn brought decision. Go public, on their terms. They crafted a joint op-ed for the Star-Ledger, Love After the Line of Duty, Alex's byline beside Jordan's. It poured out, deployment silences, homefront hurdles, the grenade that clarified what mattered. Published Sunday, it rippled, shares from vet orgs, messages from strangers echoing thank you. But backlash bit. Dad called, voice strained. Proud, son. But the church. Give us time. Mom sent cookies, rainbow sprinkles hidden in batter. The piece opened doors. A DC nonprofit tapped Alex for ambassador, flying them to a gala where tuxes gleamed under chandeliers. Jordan, ever the artist, fidgeted in bow tie, but shone when toasting partners' work. On the dance floor, slow sway to Ella, Alex murmured, "This you and me? Worth every minefield." Jordan's grin flashed. Damn right. Yet complacency was illusion. Jordan's next book tour hit the heartland, Kansas City to Nashville, testing their tether. Alex stayed put, gym demands mounting, but nightly FaceTimes bridged miles. Until Memphis, where Jordan's reading drew protesters. Church group with signs, "God hates gays in uniform." Chants drowning Q&A. Video went viral, Jordan's composed rebuttal, "Hates the real casualty," earning applause, but leaving him rattled. Hotel call that night, voice thin. "Alex, I need you." He was on the red eye, landing to scoop Jordan from the airport, drive to a cabin in the Smokies Mia suggested for decompress. Rain lashed pines, fireplace crackling as they unpacked. Jordan's hurt, Alex's helplessness. "I should have been there," Alex said, stoking logs. "You are," Jordan replied, pulling him close. "Every page I write, every stand I take, it's us fighting back." They hiked next day, trails slick, Alex's prosthetic gripping mud, metaphor for grip on life. Atop a ridge, vista sprawling, Jordan proposed a pact, no more solo battles. Joint decisions, shared armor. Renewed, they returned to launch the gym's first retreat. Weekend in the Poconos for queer vets, hikes in hot tubs healing hidden wounds. Riley led breathwork, a therapist unpacked imposter syndrome. Alex and Jordan facilitated a panel, hands linked on stage, voices weaving their arc from foxhole flirt to fiancé fire. Tears flowed, hugs lingered, one attendee confiding, "You too?" Blueprint. But blueprints crack. Back home, a donor pulled funding, anonymous notes citing moral misalignment. Cash crunch loomed, Alex pacing nights, Jordan sketching frantic to offset. Strain seeped, snapped words over bills, silences thick as fog. Culmination came mid-argument, Alex yelling, "I can't lose this place. It's all I have left of who I was." Jordan recoiled. "And I'm what? Baggage." Door slam echoed, Jordan crashing at Mia's. Alex unraveled, gym empty, regret heavy. He drove to Princeton, pounding rain matching turmoil, finding Jordan on the porch swing, sketchpad abandoned. "I'm sorry," Alex choked, kneeling wet. "You're not baggage. You're home." Jordan pulled him up, kiss saltstone. "We rebuild. Together." They did. Crowdfunding surged, inspired by their story. A foundation stepped in. Gym thrived, but the scare forged steel. Holidays brought tentative family fusion. Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving. Alex's folks hosting Jordan awkward but earnest. Dad carving turkey with gruff jokes. Mom quizzing on graphic novels. Napa Christmas followed. Jordan's parents. Long reconciled post coming out. Welcoming Alex with vineyard tours. Toasts to the man who saved our boy. New Year dawned with promise. Jordan's agent buzzed. Film option for Shadows. Queer director attached. Auditions loomed. Alex coaching lines in their new Queens apartment. Laugh riots over flubbed monologues. Casting call in L.A. Jordan nervous. Alex's anchor. Callback came. Lead role. Filming starts spring. Elation crested, but undercurrent stirred. Alex's leg acted up. Phantom pains flaring. Doc urging upgrade. Surgery scheduled. Recovery overlapping Jordan's shoot. "Go," Alex insisted. "I'll hold the fort." Jordan hesitated. "Promise you'll call?" Every ache. Every breath. L.A. swallowed Jordan. Table reads. Chemistry tests. Paparazzi sniffing queer romance rumors. Alex hobbled through rehab. Crutches clicking. Gym sessions adapted. Video calls sustained, but distance gnawed. Jordan's exhaustion. Alex's isolation. Then, set accident. Stunt gone wrong. Jordan's arm sprained. Production halted. He flew home early, bursting into PT session, scooping Alex despite sling. Screw Hollywood. You're my scene. Recovery tandem. Slinged arm mirroring bandaged leg. Netflix marathons mocking mishaps. Intimacy deepened. Not fire, but ember glow. Hands mapping hurts to heals. Spring bloomed. Surgery scars fading, as did fears. Summer brought wedding fever. Venue hunt. Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, vows under cherry blossoms. Guest list swelled, squad full, Lena officiating, Riley best man. Bachelorette fused. Mia's crew drag brunch, groom's poker with vets. Ceremony day, Alex in tailored navy, Jordan an emerald green evoking his eyes, rings exchanged with coordinates etched inside. I vow to face every blast with you, Alex said, voice steady. Jordan grinned. And I'll sketch our survival, frame by frame. Honeymoon in Napa, vineyards rolling, Jordan's family home base. Lazy days. Wine tastings, trail walks, nights tangled in sheets, love language fluent. But idle interrupted. Call from Pittsburgh. Uncle Ray's old mill shuttering final, benefit gala needing speakers. They detoured. Alex keynoting on reinvention, Jordan illustrating live, projector beaming valor vignettes. Gala success sparked chain, mill tours for vets, art therapy tie-in. Back east, film resumed, Jordan commuting, Alex consulting on military accuracy. Premiere loomed, red carpet nerves, but they walked arm in arm, flashes blinding, cheers deafening. Critics raved. Authentic pulse pounder of the heart. Life layered, gym expanded, book 2 dropped, family ties mended. Yet, in quiet, Alex pondered the title's truth. Battles paled to love's terror, its thrill. Holding Jordan one eve, city lights winking, he whispered, worth it all. Jordan stirred. Every scar. Years folded like well-worn maps. Each crease a conquest. But the terrain shifted subtly, testing foundations laid in fire. The gym evolved into a network, satellite spots in Philly and Baltimore, Harper Havens, banners fluttering like white flags of welcome. Alex, now 33, traded crutches for a subtle cane on rainy days, his limp a badge rather than burden. Jordan's star ascended, Shadows sequel greenlit, graphic novels optioned into a series, his face on podcasts dissecting the queer veteran voice. Domestic bliss buffered bumps. Mia's kids calling them Uncle ANJ. Brunches with Lena's expanding found family. But undercurrents swirled. Alex's parents, thawing to affection, hosted a proper anniversary dinner, china clinking with awkward toasts. Dad pulled Alex aside post-meal. Seeing you happy makes the old fights fade. But Tommy's out on parole. Watch your six. The warning landed like distant thunder. Tommy, sentence served for assault, slunk back to Pittsburgh shadows, jobless and simmering. Alex nodded, filing it, but sleep evaded, old vigilance spiking. Jordan sensed it, sketching Alex's tension in thumbnail studies. Jaw set, eyes scanning horizons. Talk. He prompted one morning, over oat pancakes in their sunlit kitchen. Alex sighed, fork scraping plate. Just echoes. Family stuff. Jordan's brow arched. Echoes detonate. Mia's got a PI contact, discreet check. Reluctance warred with wisdom, Alex conceded. Report came swift. Tommy drifting, bar fights, murmurs of settling scores. No direct threat, but proximity prickled. They upped security. App alerts, neighbor watches, life armoring anew. Creative surge followed for Jordan. A new project, Fractured Fronts. Anthology of LGBTQ plus vet tales. Alex contributing forward. Submissions poured. Poems of purple hearts pinked by pride. Essays on dishonorable discharges for authenticity. Launch party at the Strand, Manhattan buzzing. Alex mingling with contributors, Jordan beaming center stage. Post-event, after party at a West Village lounge. Champagne fizzing like suppressed firecrackers. A producer cornered Jordan. Adapt the anthology? HBO miniseries potential. Excitement sparked, but Alex caught the undernote. Jordan's hesitation, gaze flicking to him. Later, cab ride home, Jordan confessed. It's huge, but exposing more. Your story's in there. Alex squeezed his hand. We wrote them free. Let him fly. Green light came months later, pre-pro frenzy. Script reads, location scouts. Jordan consulted, Alex too, ensuring foxholes felt lived in, not Hollywood gloss. But Tommy's ghost haunted. A package arrived at the gym. No return. Contents innocuous, but intent clear. Vintage army photo of Alex, defaced with slurs. Police logged it, but Alex's comm cracked, yelling at a client mid-spar, earning apology tour. Jordan pulled strings. Family intervention. Mom confronting Tommy at church, her voice steel. Enough. He's your blood. Tommy denied, but eyes darted guilt. Truce fragile. He vanished to Ohio. Job at a factory. Silence his surrender. Relief exhaled, but scars itched. Therapy resumed. Joint sessions unpacking the vigilance vortex. Counselor's term for hyperalert love. Progress came in releases. Date nights sans scans. Weekends unplugged in the Catskills. Stargazing sans centuries. Film wrapped. Premiere gala a whirlwind. Black tie. Alex in charcoal suit. Jordan's emerald vest winking. Red carpet posed. Flashes memorializing. Inside speeches lauding. Raw revelation. Post-screening panel. Tears streamed as survivors shared parallels. Backstage, Jordan hugged Alex fierce. We did this. But triumph's shadow. Reviews mixed, some praising boldness, others decrying agenda over art. Trolls amplified, docs attempts spiking, old addresses, gym maps. Jordan's agent hired PR crisis team. Alex bolstered digital fences. Strain showed, Jordan withdrawn, sketching less. Alex overtraining till legs screamed. Climax brewed at a vet convention in Orlando, keynoters both. Jordan's talk on art as aftercare inspired. Alex's on building beyond the blast, ignited Q&A firestorm. A heckler rose, ex-Marine, face ruddy. This queer crap dishonors the fallen. Booze drowned him, but venom stuck, Jordan pale post-event. Hotel room, storm broke. I can't keep fighting phantoms, Jordan admitted, voice breaking. The work matters, but at what cost? Alex held him, heart aching. Then pivot. Anthology 2, civilian queers, fresh voices. Less target on our backs. Jordan nodded, seeds planted. Convention closed strong, connections forged, new donors for havens, collab invites. Florida sun faded to autumn chill, life recalibrating. Holiday circuit healed. Pittsburgh with pierogies in progress. Dad gifting Jordan a monogrammed flask for the stories. Napa twinkled with lights. Jordan's folks unveiling a vineyard label. Harper Ellis Reserve, bold vintage. New Year's Eve, Times Square ball drop mirrored their countdown. Resolutions whispered. Balance, boundaries, bravery. Spring unfurled collaborations. Gym art fusion classes, yoga with live sketching. A young artist, trans vet, apprenticed under Jordan, murals blooming on Haven walls. Vines of resilience entwining rifles into rainbows. Alex mentored her self-defense, pride paternal. But equilibrium quaked. Jordan's doc flagged burnout. Sleepless, appetite fled. Sabbatical decreed. Road trip, Route 66 redux, queer history detours. They packed the Jeep, tent, sketch pads, playlists, heading west, Chicago blues to Santa Fe sunsets. Midwest miles melted masks. Confessional pit stops at diners. Remember when's laced with laughs. Amarillo, a storm stalled them. Motel neon flickering, truths tumbling. Jordan admitted envy of Alex's grounded grit. The gym his anchor. Alex confessed awe at Jordan's fearless fire. Words his weapon. Pact renewed. Envy to emulation, strength shared. California coast called. Big Sur cliffs crashing like catharsis. Malibu crash pad. Jordan's old contacts hosting beach bonfire. Writers, activists, tales traded till tide turned. One elder, Stonewall survivor, gripped Jordan's hand. You boys? The front line now. Keep charging. Inspired, Jordan dove into sabbatical project. Graphic memoir, line of sight, their love letter to longevity. Alex narrated tapes, voice steady, prosthetic propped as Jordan inked. Panels of proposals, brawls, bliss. Return East buzzed. Memoir buzz building, pre-orders promising. But Tommy's echo resurfaced. Letter from Ohio, hand shaky. Sorry don't fix, but trying. AA meetings, sponsor says own it. Alex read aloud to Jordan, tears tracing. Response penned. Forgiveness framed, not forgotten. Therapy invite, slow steps. Summer solstice, gym gala. Funds for expansion, Jordan emceeing, Alex auctioning spar sessions. Bids soared, laughter louder, a donor's check sealing Philly site. After party rooftop, city sprawl sparkling, Jordan pulled Alex to edge. 10 years since the blast. Feels like yesterday. Alex turned, ring glinting. And forever. Monsoon of milestones. Memoir launch, bestseller lists, tour intimate. Bookstores over stadiums. Alex joined select stops, Hugh as duo dynamic. Backlash minimal. Allies amplified. Oprah interview. Tears and truths. Reach rippling. Fall foliage framed family growth. Mia's third. Surprise rainbow baby. Godparents A&J. Holidays hybrid. Pittsburgh Napa relay. Recipes remixed. Bonds baked. Winter whispered change. Alex's cane retired. Leg strong. Doc cleared for marathons. Training montage. Dawn runs. Jordan pacing bike side. Cheers his cadence. Race day. Boston. Crowd roar rivaling artillery. Finish line Jordan waiting. Medal hung twin. Spring surprise. Jordan's doc visit. News gentle. Fertility consults. Surrogacy seeds. Conversations cascaded. Parenthood palettes. Painted possibilities. Decision dawning. Yes, expand the circle. Parenthood's prospect painted their world in primary colors. Decisions deliberated over dawn coffees and dusk drives. Jordan's memoir tour wrapped with a whimper. A quiet reading in a Brooklyn indie. Fans intimate. Alex in the front row sketching hearts and margins. Proceeds seeded a scholarship for queer vet artists. Legacy looping back. But fertility's fork loomed large, appointments stacking like sandbags. First consult. REI Clinic in Manhattan. White coats crisp, charts charting hopes. Options outlined. IVF, adoption, fostering, each a path with potholes. Alex gripped Jordan's hand under the table, pulse sinking. Surrogacy feels right, Jordan said later, over falafel in the village. Someone we know, trusted. Mia volunteered swift, her brood boisterous, but her body game. Payback for Uncle Judy's, she winked. Cycles commenced, meds, monitoring, moods mercurial. Jordan journaled it, panels penciled, needle pricks to heartbeat blips. Alex anchored amid anxiety, gym expansions demanding, Philly site groundbreaking, ribbon cut with mayoral flair. Media swarmed, Haven hero headlines, but private pressures pressed. Sleepless nights, Alex pacing, flashbacks flirting with fatherhood fears. What if I pass on the brakes? Jordan caught him once, 3 a.m., window gazing. Hey, we're not deploying solo. Team. Sketchpad opened, doodle of Alex cradling a bundled dream, labeled dad material. Laughter broke tension, love's leaven. Summer swelled with scans. Embryo transfer success, Mia glowing guardian. Announcements rippled, Pittsburgh cheers, Napa toasts, squad texts emoji festooned. Baby shower fused, Lena's dragged divas crooning lullabies, Riley rigging piñata packed with booties. But biology's caprice struck autumn. Heartbeat faltered, lost landing like ambush. Mia miscarried at 12 weeks, grief group hug in her kitchen, tears salting soup. Jordan shattered private, sketches shredded. Alex held space, his own sorrow soldier stoic, till therapy cracked it. Morning meandered, hikes in Harriman, hands clasped, words weaving webs of why not us? Riley recommended a support circle, queer kinship keepers, stories shared in candlelit lofts. There, amid adoption tales and foster fables, resolve reformed. Try again, broader nets. Winter warmed with agency intros, adoption profiles poured, letters penned to birth moms. Heartstrings tugged at one. Teen mom in Texas, open adoption open, baby boy due spring. Match made, nerves nautical, Jordan pacing pre-meet. Dallas drive, tension thick as humidity. Birth mom, Sophia, 17 fierce, eyes wise beyond. Convo flowed, dreams deferred, support systems sketched. He'll have 2 dads who fought for love, she said, hand on belly. That's armor. Bond bloomed virtual, updates, ultrasounds, Jordan illustrating nursery murals sight unseen. Due date danced near, bags packed phantom. Call came midnight. Labor, flight frantic. Airport sprint, hearts hammering, landing to hospital hum. Weight blurred, coffee cold, hands clasped. Dawn cry pierced. Nurse handing tiny Theo, 10 fingers, fierce grip. Sophia smiled through exhaustion. Name him strong. They did. Theo Harper Ellis, after Theodosius, warrior saint. Homecoming haze, Brooklyn bassinet, nights nursed in tandem, diapers daisy-chained. Alex's gym flexed flexible, paternity weave, clients cooing over pics. Jordan's agent pitched dad diaries, but he demurred. This chapter's ours first. Parenting's parade. First smile at 3 weeks, Jordan's coup crescendo. Crawl at 7 months. Alex chasing carpet commando. Milestones marked with Mia's milestones. Family fused fuller. But Theo's colic coliseum tested. Screams symphonic, sleep shattered. Date nights delegated to sitters. Reconnection rare. Strained surface subtle. Jordan buried in book revisions. Alex overcommit to Haven board. Spats sparked over spilled Cheerios. You're always gone. So are you. Door not slammed, but ajar with ache. Truce trended at therapy. Parent pivot. Counselor coined. Boundaries blueprint. Babysitter brigade built. Riley rotations. Lena lullabies. Renewed rhythm. Park picnics. Theo gurgling. Hands brushing benches. Theo's first birthday beamed. Smash cake chaos. Smash hit with guests. Pittsburgh contingency arrived. Grandpa, dad bouncing babe. Grandma, mom baking bilingual. Pierogies and cupcakes. Napa video called. Vineyard vines virtual backdrop. Summer sauntered with swim lessons. Splashes sinking laughs. Jordan's stalled project revived. Frontline families. Queer parent vignettes. Theo cameo cartooned. Alex contributed battle to bottle. Feeding phrase framed font. Fall foliage framed first steps. Theo tottering to Alex. Collapse and cheers. Video viral in family chats. Pride proliferating. But undercurrent. Tommy's Ohio update. Sobriety solid. Amends mailed. Baby blanket knit clumsy. Alex replied gracious. Gate cracked. Holiday hullabaloo. Joint feast. Pittsburgh Napa via Zoom hybrid. Theo's taught tray turkey themed. New Year's nursed naps. Resolutions realistic. Recharge. Relate. Revel. Spring sprouted Theo's words. Dada dual directed. Hearts hoisted. Jim Gallagrander. Theo mascot in mini camo. Bids buoyant. Jordan's book dropped. Dedications doubled. For Theo, our truce. But bliss bracketed bumps. Haven audit unearthed embezzlement. Staffer skimming. Trust torched. Alex investigated incognito. Leg leading stakeouts. Jordan fretting home front. Culprit cornered. Confession coerced calm. Charges clean. Fallout festered. Donor doubt. Enrollment ebb. Alex addressed assembly. Vulnerability vanguard. Betrayals blast. But we rebuild. Rally rallied. Recovery robust. Theo's toddler terror. Tantrums tidal. Twos tyrannical. Strategies swapped. Time-ins over outs. Books over bellows. Jordan journaled jams. Art antidote. Alex armored with anecdotes. Squad stories soothed. Milestone marker. Preschool probe. Queer-affirming spot in Park Slope. Tour tiptoed. Theo pointing home. Verdict voiced. Enroll. Drop-off debut. Tears trickling. Daddy's departing. Duo debriefing over decoff. Summer sojourn. Cape Cod cabin. Clams and constellations. Theo's tide pools. Tiny toes tentative. Daddy's diving deep. Decompressed dives. Devotion dialed. Fall framed focus. Jordan's series season 2. Script tweaks tight. Alex guest-directed episode. Foxhole fidelity fierce. Premiere party. Theo in tuxedo tee. Toast tempered. Winter whispered wonder. Theo's snowman. Sloppy sphere. Joy joint. Holidays hopped. Pittsburgh sleds. Napa vines. Theo's ho-ho-ho-hoed. Spring surprise. Sophia visited. Open adoption olive branch. Park playdate. Theo tackling auntie. Bonds blooming. He's magic, she marveled. You're magic. Summer scorched with success. Haven hits 100 members. Expansion east. Jordan's Emmy nod. Nom's nervous. Nightcap. Nerves numbed by win. Acceptance aching authentic. But autumn announced ache. Alex's doc flagged arthritis. Leg legacy. Injections inbound. Mobility mused. Jordan mapped modifications. Pool therapy. Prosthetic pals. Theo's 3. Tricycle triumph. Party pandemonium. Family full. Pittsburgh crew crashing couches. Napa via stream. Winter wove warmth. Theo's tales. Toddler tomes read round robin. Holidays harmonious. Tommy tentative. Card came. Proud uncle? Alex answered I. Invite issued. Spring seated second. Fostering flutter. Teen in flux. Agency assessed. Home study hummed. Match. Jamie, 16. Trans boy tumbling from foster fail. Interview icebreaker. Theo's truck offered. Trust tentative. Jamie joined Jittery, room-rigged rainbow. Nights navigated. Nightmares named, nutrition nudged. Jordan journaled journeys. Alex advocated schools, ally armor. Summer settled. Beach bonds. Jamie's jet skis, Theo's tandem. Family fused fluid, Mia's mentorship maternal. Fall framed flourishing. Jamie's junior year. Jordan's lecture circuit, Alex's advocacy awards. Thanksgiving thanks tripled, toasts textured. Winter wonderland. Jamie's Yule log. Theo's elf ears, Tommy's trial visit. Awkward acts buried, amends actioned. Spring surged. Jamie's prom. Jordan tucks Taylor, Alex corsage clip. Theo's tag-along, tiny tie. Summer symphony. Family fly fish Montana. Casts clumsy, catches cherished. Life's ledger balanced. Battles banked. Love ledgered long. Adolescence's archipelago emerged. Islands of independence amid family firmament. Jamie, now 18, navigated senior year like a scout on recon. AP classes ambushing, college apps artillery. Jordan proofed essays, ink insights. Alex drilled debate prep, rhetoric rifle ready. Theo, 5, shadowed sibling. Superhero cape flapping, questions quizzical. Why Jamie's room blue now? Transitions tapestry textured home. Hormones humming, binders bought. Bathrooms battled schoolside. Pride parent meetings, Alex advocating assemblies. Jordan art therapizing after-school clubs. Victory veiled. Jamie's scholarship to RISD, Rhode Island dream deferred no more. But teen tempests tossed. Jamie's first crush, cis-girl classmate, closet creaking. Coming out convo, kitchen confab, daddy's dispensing. Timing's tactic, but truth's terrain. Heartbreak hit halftime, ghosted texts, tears torrent. Jordan sketched solidarity comics. Alex arm wrestled, angst away. Theo's kindergarten kickoff contrasted calm. Crayons conquering, cubby claimed. Drop-offs duo, pickup parades, parent-teacher prattle proud. But bedtime battles brewed, monsters under bunks, stories staving shadows. Alex's wore yarns, sanitized, soothed. Jordan's doodles dispatched demons. Haven horizons widened. Baltimore branch blooming, board beckoning Alex chair. Travel ticked up, trains to inaugurals, keynotes keen growth. Jordan juggled Jamie's grad prep, Theo's t-ball, Theo's tantrums tamed with timeouts tender. Strains simmered summer, family Valkyrie Vermont, cabin cozied, but connectivity craved. Jamie's phone glued, Theo's iPad idle, daddy's disconnecting over dockside dinners. Intervention idle, unplugged packed, games galore, ghost stories glowing fireflies. Fall foliage framed farewells. Jamie's dorm drop, U-Haul heavy-hearted. Hugs lingered lobby, Jordan misty, Alex stoic till drive home dissolve. Empty nest echo amplified Theo's echoes, 5-year-old filling voids with violin screech. Winter wove worries, flu-felled family, fever fractals. Jordan's deadline dashed, Alex's audit avalanche. Quarantine quartered, board games bridging, Theo's tunes trilling. Spring sprouted separation, Jamie's spring break surprise, sketches shipped home. Theo's talent show, tap shoes tapping, applause avalanche. Summer scorched successes, Haven hits milestone, million served metric. Jordan's graphic guide to trans teens, transition trails, touted by GLSEN. Alex's TEDx, from foxhole to family, views viral. But autumn announced ailment. Jordan's hand cramped chronic, carpal tunnel culprit. Braces braced, breaks mandated, memoir stalled. Alex massaged nights, worry woven. Holidays healed, Jamie home, jammies jammed. Thanksgiving theater, Theo's turkey trot. Pittsburgh pilgrimage, parents preening grands, Tommy tangent. Now teetotaler, tails tempered. New Year nodded nurture. Family fitness challenge, Jamie's Zoom joining jogs. Theo's teethings tamed, braces braced. Spring sigh, Jamie's internship NYC, commute conundrum. Sublet scouted, safety stressed. Jordan's jury duty detour, graphic novel ghostring guest. Summer surge, Theo's camp counselor crush, kid camaraderie. Jamie's gallery gig, Jordan guest judging. Fall's flourish, college career fair, Jamie's portfolio polished. Alex's award gala, Haven honored. Winter's whisper, snow day shenanigans, sleds soaring. Jordan's hand healed, hammers hitting keys anew. Spring's spark, Theo's science fair, volcano victorious. Jamie's junior showcase, sculptures stunning. Summer's symphony, road trip redux, Route 1 ribbon, RV rumbling revelations. Jamie's gender glow, Theo's tween teases. Fall framed futures, Jamie's grad school gap year, globe-trotting graft. Theo's middle school mall, magnets mapped. But undercurrents churned, Alex's arthritis advanced, knee knocking. Surgeon suggested scope, scope scoped. Jordan fretted, freelance foregone for ferryman. Surgery suite stark, Alex anesthetized. Jordan Jamie Theo triage waiting. Wake up woozy, winds winced, rehab road rugged. Recovery rallied. Jamie's Japan jaunt postponed, home help. Theo's homework hero, fractions funneled. Jordan's joystick joyrides, virtual vistas. Haven held, interim, board buffered. Fall's frost-framed fortitude, limp lessened. Winter's warmth, adaptive athletics, Alex alpine skiing adaptive. Family flanks, cheers cascading. Spring's renewal, knee knit, runs resumed. Jamie's return, ramen runs. Summer's splash, pool party pandemonium, Theo 13, teen tinged. Fall's fanfare, Theo's bar mitzvah bash, adopted Jewish joy, Jordan's jokes, Alex's Aliyah. But teen tornado, Theo's tiffs, identity inquiries. Am I gay like you? Convos cascaded, labels loose. You're you, kid. Love lands later. Jamie's jolt, relationship rocky, rebound rough. Daddy's dispatched, distance dialed. Holidays harmonized, hybrid high notes hit. New Year's nerve, family therapy tune-up, ties tightened. Spring stride, Theo's track team, time's ticking. Jamie's master's mull, mentor's mind. Summer's sojourn, service trip, habitat builds in Haiti. Hammers healing, hands helping. Fall's fire, Theo's first crush, boy band banter. Guidance gentle, gates opened. Winter's weave, Haven holiday drive, hampers humming. Spring's summit, Alex's autobio, blast radius, beta by Jordan. Summer's shine, book tour tandem, Theo tag-along teen. Fall's fusion, Jamie's wedding walk, down aisle as brother, bride beaming. Life's lattice laced, love's lines lengthening, battles but backstory. Maturity's mosaic materialized, fragments fitted into fuller frame. Jamie, 25, wed in a woodland whimsy. Oaks officiating, Jordan walking him, Alex toasting tearfully. Theo, 18, best man banter brilliant, college-bound buzz building. Daddy's danced dusk, decades distilled in sway. Haven hegemony, national network, nonprofits nodding. Alex CEO crowned, cross-country keynotes. Jordan's studioed, adjunct at Pratt, protégés proliferating. Empty nest echoed amplified, adventures answering. Anniversary Antarctica, penguins parading proposals redux. Arctic, auroras affirming. Theo's transition, freshman fall, frat flirtations fumbled. Calls candid, dating's deployment, daddy's decoding. Jordan's letters laced levity, Alex's advice armored affection. Jamie's jaunt, journalism jump, queer mag managing. Byline bold, backlash braved. Family fulcrum, annual Adirondacks assemble, axes axed anxieties. Fireside fables, futures forecasted. But health's horizon hazed. Jordan's ticker ticked irregular, EKG echoing. Ablation advised, anxiety amped. Alex anchored or outside. Theo texting talismans, Jamie jetting join. Post-op peace, paddles parked, paddling resumed. Kayak quests quelling qualms. Spring spark, Theo's thesis, trans history traced. Defense dazzled, diploma draped. Summer's send-off, grad gala, gowns glittering. Jordan's keynote, kinshipped. Fall's flourish, Jamie's byline book, beyond the binary, forward fatherly. Winter's warmth, Haven Hall's honored, humanitarian hum. But Theo's tumult, post-grad paralysis, purpose probed. Therapy threaded, trades tinkered, tattoo apprenticeship, inking identity. Jordan mentored murals, Alex appraised authenticity. Pivot to policy. Nonprofit nudge. Neurodiverse niche. Jamie's jolt. Job jump to J-school. Journalism jugular. Family flux. Pittsburgh patriarch passes. Dad's denouement dignified. Eulogy echoed enlistment. Epilogue embracing. Napa nestles next. Nana's 90s nod. Vows vineyard visaged. Vines validating. Adventures accrue. Alex Jordan Aegean. All's idyllic. Theo tags Thailand. Tattoos templed. Jamie's join. Justice League litigator. LGBTQ plus law. Cases crusading. Courts conquered. Theo's tenure. Tattoo, tourney triumph. Parlor partnered. Haven harvest. Hybrid high school havens. Youth yielded. Health sim. Alex's annuals ace. Jordan's jogs jaunty. Anniversaries accumulate. 20th tango. Tango taught Theo Jamie. Grandkids glimmer. Jamie's journey to Juneau. Adoption arc. Daddy's diaper duty. Delight doubled. Theo's twosome. Partner paramedic. Parades proud. Brooklyn bass buzzes. Brunches boisterous. Broods blending. Battles banked, but brushfires blaze. Policy pushback. Pride parade protests. Alex advocates. Jordan illustrates indictments. Victory veiled. Veto vetoed. Rights ratified. Ages advance. 60s silvered. Stories stockpiled. Retirement ruminated. RV roam. Roads revisited. But purpose persists. Podcasts paired. Love's long march. Theo's tome. Tattoo tales. Trans trails. Jamie's judiciary. Judge Jr. Justice juiced. Grand Theo's glee. Gap-toothed grins. Grandpa games. Life's ledger. Losses lined. Lena's lung lapse. Rallied round. Winds waited. Wedding walk for grandkid. Garters gleeful. Final frontier. Farewell fates. Friends fate. In Sunset Suite. Alex to Jordan. Battles? Blips. You? Everything. Jordan's kiss. Feelings? Forever. Epilogue etched. Echoes eternal. Love's legacy luminous.